Good evening and welcome to tonight's 8 p.m. news broadcast on Eswatini TV. My name is Nondobego Nzabgelwago and I am together with Zama Nzimanze. Let's take a look at tonight's headlines. The Prime Minister has encouraged the nation to support and show encouragement to those who are infected with COVID-19. The Metula constituency construction site was officially unveiled today. The European Union has supported Eswatini with a 92 million financing agreement for job creation. And now the news in detail. The Prime Minister, Ambrose Manvulo Dlamini, has called upon Emaswati and people around the world to send messages of support to those in isolation or in hospital because of the coronavirus. In a statement issued to the media, the Prime Minister said he has been overwhelmed with good wishes from people both within the country and abroad after he tested positive for COVID-19 and went into isolation. He says support from family, friends, and from anyone really makes a massive difference to one's morale. He has stated that everyone is equally at risk of contracting COVID-19. The Prime Minister noted that His Majesty's government had worked hard since the first positive case was discovered in the country in March to reduce risk to a minimum. The country has thus far recorded 6,185 cases with 119 deaths, but has had an impressive recovery rate of over 90%. The Prime Minister said he was especially grateful to health workers and all frontline workers who had sacrificed under varying trying circumstances to save lives. The PM said he would continue to isolate, though he shows no symptoms, until given the clearance to carry on with his local and international commitments. The Deputy Prime Minister, Themba Masuku, and the Minister for Tinkhundla and Development, David Ngampalala, have officially presented the construction site which will be used for building a structure for Metula constituency.
The Deputy Prime Minister, Themba Masuku, says the soon-to-be-built Metula constituency is a much-needed developmental project as it will also comprise of a community hall which will be used to host many events. He says the constituency will also offer a lot of other services that will improve the lives of the community members.
Historic day for this Nkundla. As I said, this is one of the additional four Tinkhundla that His Majesty wanted to be constructed because he didn't want people to be traveling long distances to get services. Everything is getting closer to the people. This is in line with His Majesty's government decentralization policy. So we are very delighted to see this development today.
The Minister for Tinkhundla and Development, David Ngampalala, thanked the delegation that was sent by His Majesty King Mswati III to find the right place for the construction of the constituency. Ngampalala urged the community leaders and members of the community to work in harmony and honesty when the construction commences. Ngampalala says there shouldn't be any arising disputes over the project because the King has blessed it.
Ukuthi na indawo yinhle nyalo sesiyaphuma siyawucela imali mangabe siyicela imali kusuke umsebenzi kubuka ukuthi sakhe letakhiwo takhe uhulumende kuze kutawukhona abantu benkosi bathole ama service lafanele
The Member of Parliament of Metula constituency, Derek Masuku, thanked the Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku for honoring the project with his presence. Masuku also promised the Minister for Tinkhundla that he will work closely with all 5 chiefs under the constituency to ensure that disputes do not arise.
We are very happy in this area for this project that is going to start not very long from now. We have been using this house here, which was used to accommodate the workers from agriculture. So now we've been using it as an office. Now today they have given us an assurance that they will start building a new structure for this Metula.
The Deputy Prime Minister Themba Masuku took a moment to remind everyone that the nation is still fighting the COVID-19 pandemic. Therefore, it is still each and everyone's responsibility to always wear their masks and comply to all stipulated measures for the fight against the coronavirus. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, Sifiso Ngumalo, it's Muva Shongwe, Metula.
The European Union has supported the government of Eswatini with a 92 million emalangeni financing agreement for the support of job creation and investment climate. The agreement was signed by the Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade alongside the Minister of Economic Planning and Development, Dr. Tambo Gina, and European Union Ambassador to Eswatini, Esmeralda Hernandez Aragones.
The European Union's 92 million emalangeni financing agreement for job creation in Eswatini also seeks to promote a conducive investment climate in the kingdom in a manner that will encourage private sector economic growth and to help governments develop strong support systems for business and industry to thrive. Through this agreement, it is also envisaged that government will also establish a strong, sustainable working relation with industry, especially through the establishment of a State Business Relations Secretariat. Speaking during the signing ceremony held at the Bethel Court at Eswatini, European Union Ambassador to Eswatini, Esmeralda Hernandez Aragones, explained that another key component of this agreement will be to help increase local exports to the European Union and other key global markets.
Knowing that the economic recovery will be just as important as the resilience that is needed now due to the COVID-19 outbreak, the program will also focus on the most vulnerable enterprise and sector during the crisis, always with the ultimate goal to create decent jobs.
The Minister of Commerce, Industry and Trade, Mancoba Khumalo, acknowledges that for Eswatini to truly record sustainable economic growth, all barriers to trade must be eliminated.
Support to job creation, Your Excellency and Honorable Minister, and improving the investment climate has become a global necessity. Thus, it presents an opportunity for both the public sector and the private sector to engage and come up with projects and programs that will bring an upturn in the economy.
The Minister of Economic Planning and Development, Dr. Tambo Gina, thanked the European Union for consistently supporting the economic development agenda in Eswatini.
Its implementation will strengthen public-private dialogue on the ease of doing business and on the competitiveness of micro, small and medium enterprises by supporting the establishment of a State Business Relations Secretariat.
The financing agreement is especially aimed at boosting businesses owned by women and the youth. For Eswatini TV News, Hlengiwe Ndlovu with Muzimkhonda at Eswatini.
The Minister of Finance, Neil Reckenberg, says government and developmental partners must work collectively to prevent the spread of HIV in the country by creating programs that will help prevent new HIV infections among the youth. The minister said this during the regional commemoration of World AIDS Day in the Hoho region. The event was held at Dimpisini constituency on Friday.
On Friday, Hoho region commemorated the Regional World AIDS Day under the theme Eswatini Ending AIDS in Solidarity by 2022, a shared responsibility. In the Hoho Regional commemoration, the National Emergency Response Council on HIV and AIDS, NECHA, focused on educating the youth about HIV-related issues, especially since young girls are at risk. The Finance Minister, Neil Rickenberg, who was the guest speaker in this event, said government and development partners have to work collectively by creating programs that will prevent new HIV infections among the youth.
Turning the tide against this epidemic requires a collective responsibility from government, development partners, and civil society organizations to...
NECHA Director Kanyagwezwe Mabuza says AIDS statistics for the Hoho region are worrying, especially where young people are concerned.
Nasibuka tinombolo tethu takahoho tebantfu labatfole HIV tifuna kusiphikisa. We have a lot of people who are picking new infections here.
Hoho Regional Administrator Princess Tanzila says the region will work in solidarity with government to fight AIDS in the country.
Siyasho ukuthi nathi singihoho siyatimbandzakanya namuhla nalesicubulo salonyaka lesithi sibambene ngimi nawe sinqoba iAIDS nga-2022.
Timbisini Member of Parliament Nelson Mamba says teenage and adolescent pregnancies are worrying, especially since many girls are now exposed to diseases like HIV. Mamba says this also impacts negatively on government means to reduce maternal and infant mortality deaths in the country. Young people therefore were given sanitary pads and body lotion. Reporting for Eswatini TV News is Phumapi Msweli, Timbisini.
Eswatini's population projections reports of 2017 to 2038 shows that the country's population will reach 1.4 million people in 2038 despite the kingdom's declining crude birth rate. The population projections report was launched by the Minister of Economic Planning and Development, Dr. Tambo Gina, at the Bethel Court in Zulwini.
Based on the Kingdom of Eswatini's population and housing census of 2017, the Eswatini population projections report of 2017 to 2038, compiled by government with assistance from the United Nations Population Fund and presented by the Minister of Economic Planning and Development, Dr. Tambo Gina, on Friday, shows interesting twists and turns in the kingdom's population trends in upcoming years, as projections show that Eswatini's population will grow at a rate of 1.2% each year until 2038, where there will be 1.4 million people in Eswatini.
The report indicates that the population growth will be steady over the projected period at around 1.2% per annum, and this is attributed to the declines in crude birth rates, which declined from 28, almost 29 people per thousand in 2017. It will be about 22 per thousand in 2038. Crude death rates will also decline.
UNFPA's head of office in Eswatini, Margaret Twala, says this report will help provide much-needed data required for planning and identifying the most vulnerable population groups in Eswatini.
It's actually fitting very well with the ongoing joint annual planning that is happening between the government of Eswatini and the United Nations Development System. Honorable Minister, I wish to congratulate the government of Eswatini through your leadership, particularly the Central Statistic Office in your ministry, for its continuous commitment to carrying out census activities.
UNFPA's head of office in Eswatini further reaffirmed the organization's support to executing future censuses in Eswatini. For Eswatini TV News, Hlengiwe Ndlovu with Muzim Konda at Ezulwini.
The Minister of Agriculture, Jabulani Mabuza, has now launched the Homesteads Backyard Gardens program in all regions of the country. The minister says this program is in line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals on zero hunger and the country's Vision 2022 that states that it will be a developed country.
With the Backyard Garden initiative, government gives constituencies 5,000 vegetable seedlings and it is given to 50 homesteads per constituency for free. Speaking during the launch of the program in the Manzini region at Lutse constituency, Minister of Agriculture Jabulani Mabuza encourages all homesteads to have backyard gardens as per the theme, which says the Maswati should eat what they produce.
So we are collaborating, we are coming together, we are running with these projects through all the regions of the country and through all the 59 Tingundla centers. So as a ministry, of course, sent by government, we have tried to acquire 5,000 seedlings.
Sisi Bianca from the Well Food Program says the initiative by government is very important as the homesteads will produce their own food.
It's very important to have food security, especially during times of crisis or shocks.
Lutse member of parliament Vusi Swali says the constituency will ensure continuity of the program.
Going forward, we believe we have to engage the Minister of Agriculture as well as the other partners who have helped us, especially NAMBOD and the extension officers, to see to it that this program is sustained.
One of the farmers that was given the seedlings, Estambila, says the backyard gardening will come as a great assistance to her and neighbors. She encourages the Maswati to produce their own food. Minister Mabuza started by launching the program in the Hoho region and Vonjeni constituency. He proceeded to launch it at Shiselweni 2 constituency in the Shiselweni region. It was later launched at Sitobelweni constituency in the Lubombo region, and it was finally launched at Lutse constituency in the Manzini region. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla, Lutse.
The Minister of Natural Resources and Energy, Peter Bembe, has officially opened 3 boreholes at Ngilongo constituency. The boreholes were rehabilitated by the Trade and Development Bank in Southern Africa in collaboration with the National Disaster Management Agency. The projected cost is over 1 million emalangeni.
The National Disaster Management Agency, in collaboration with the Trade and Development Bank in Southern Africa, has rehabilitated 3 water schemes in Ngulongo in Nkundla. The water schemes were officially launched by the Minister of Natural Resources and Energy, Peter Bembe.
We are appreciating the benefits of having a borehole that can be used for both drinking and irrigation. The people of this area are very, very excited. As you can see behind, they have already started a gardening project.
Victor Mahlalela, who spoke on behalf of the Chief Executive Officer, said the rehabilitation of these schemes cost over 1 million emalangeni.
Ngemali lenganga 1.5 million kwasekuqaleni around April. Le mali lena ke isebenzisa indzawo letine kubuyisa emanti lahlanje support lechamgile futhi British High Commissioner kanti nase Indian High Commissioner lapho khona banikele ngekuthi kwakhiwe letindlu temathulusi letikhona letincane tekubeka emathulusi nemapipe kunisa.
Timothy Myeni, the Nkilongo Nkundla Member of Parliament, expressed his gratitude. Myeni said having water has brought development and growth to the members of the community.
Lubakhutsele bashoda ngawo emanti kunele kuvulwa lamanti sanikelelwa namathange baka national disaster sebavele abantu bavele basukuma bangena emsebentini balima.
Accessing clean water is in line with the nation's vision that every Liswati should have access to clean water by the year 2022. The vision also adheres to the United Nations Sustainable Goals, Goal number 6, that focuses on having access to clean water and sanitation for everyone by the year 2030. Reporting is Tembelihle Makuchwa with Temba Shabangu at Gamula.
countries of the world have a major role to play in the protection of the welfare of children in order for their rights not to be violated. The statement was issued by UNICEF Acting Representative Natalie Daries during the celebration of the World Children's Day held at SOS Children's Village in Mbabane.
World Children's Day was first adopted in 1954 as Universal Children's Day and is celebrated on the 20th of November each year, an annual day for action for children and by children, and to celebrate the power of children to change the world. It was on the same day last year that Eswatini joined the rest of the world to commemorate the 30th anniversary, which provided all stakeholders with an opportunity to reflect on how well we individually and collectively support every child to enjoy every right. The World's Children's Day 2020 is commemorated under the theme Reimagining a Better World for Every Child.
It is important for every sector in the society to come to have something, contribute something into saying how can we equip our children with the challenges that we have today so that they grow up to be independent persons who can be able to take the country.
UNICEF Acting Representative Natalie Daries says even though many countries of the world recognizes the importance of the rights of children, but there is still more to be done by countries of the world to ensure that children's rights are not violated.
It's a day where we are giving the opportunity for children to express themselves. We are giving them a voice for them to tell us how they imagine the world that they want.
United Nations representative in the country, Dr. Natalie Ndongose, says the outbreak of various diseases such as the COVID-19 pandemic has negatively affected children's rights to education.
We need not only as parents, as relatives, but also as a nation to ensure that they are protected, that their rights are respected, and that they are being given all the opportunities to grow as responsible as also productive citizens in the future.
The event was attended by children from all the four corners of the country, government departments and other stakeholders. For Eswatini TV News, Zodwa Dlamini with Patricia Msibi in Mbabane.
In our sports news today, the Eswatini national under-17 team has been disqualified from the COSAFA under-17 tournament after they were found to have used at least one player older than 17 years of age following tests using an MRI scanner. The MRI scans are used across the world to determine whether players are eligible for under-17 competitions in particular. Zimbabwe, Botswana, and Comoros have also joined Eswatini in the list of teams that have been disqualified for age cheating. Eswatini had only played one game, which was against South Africa, and they lost by 2-0. The Eswatini squad's disqualification will have dire consequences for the team as it will now miss the next two Africa Under-17 Cup of Nations and by consequence the next FIFA Under-17 World Cup. And in our COVID news today, 29 people have tested positive for coronavirus, bringing the total number of cases to 6,185. Eswatini, that brings us to the end of our news bulletin. But before we wrap up, let's take a quick recap of the headlines. The Prime Minister has encouraged the nation to support and show encouragement to those who are infected with COVID-19. The Metula constituency construction site was officially unveiled today. The European Union has supported Eswatini with a 92 million financing agreement for job creation. Well, that is all the news we had for you tonight. Up next is the weather forecast. Good night and God bless.